The twin suns of Exila Prime cast a golden glow over the bustling city of Zephyra, named after its revered queen. The air was electric with anticipation, a palpable energy that pulsed through the veins of every citizen. Today was a day of spectacle, a day when the galaxy's greatest warriors would converge in the heart of the city. The magnificent Zeph Colosseum, this colossal structure, carved from the planet's crystalline rock, gleamed in the sunlight, a testament to the grandeur of the world and its people. Inside the arena, a sea of spectators filled the tired seats, their varied and exotic forms a colorful tapestry of life. From the feathered Zorani to the bioluminescent Illyrians, the inhabitants of Exela Prime and beyond gathered, their eyes fixed on the sandy battleground below. The air was thick with the scent of alien delicacies and the murmur of excited voices, a cacophony of languages blending into a harmonious chorus. At the center of this spectacle sat Queen Zephyra, the ruler of Exila Prime. Her regal presence commanded the attention of all. With violet skin that shimmered under the twin suns and eyes of molten gold, she was a vision of ethereal beauty. Dressed in robes of deep indigo, adorned with intricate golden patterns that depicted the history of her people, she exuded an aura of authority and grace. Her gaze was steady and penetrating, a reminder of the wisdom and strength that had solidified her rule. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the arena, the crowd's murmur hushed into an expectant silence. The time had come for the main event, the battle that everyone had eagerly awaited. The defending champion, Karak, emerged from the massive gates opposite the royal box. Karak was a behemoth, towering over most beings. His skin was a deep mottled green, and his muscles rippled with every step. He wore a battle-worn armor, dented and scarred from countless victories, and carried a massive warhammer that seemed too large for even his enormous hands. Karak's reputation was as fearsome as his appearance. A warrior of few words, he was known for his ruthless efficiency and unparalleled strength. The crowd roared with approval, a mixture of admiration and fear. Karak raised his hammer, acknowledging their cheers with a grim smile. So that from the other end of the arena, the gates creaked open once more, and out stepped Michael, the human warrior. In stark contrast to Karak's intimidating bulk, Michael was lean and agile, a figure of lithe strength. His armor was sleek, crafted from a rare alloy that shimmered with a subtle blue hue. He moved with a feline grace, every step measured and purposeful. A sword hung at his side, the hilt intricately designed with symbols from Earth's ancient cultures. Michael was a rarity on Exila Prime, one of the few humans to have set foot on this alien world. His arrival had been met with curiosity and skepticism. Yet here he stood, about to face the most formidable opponent in the arena. His presence was a testament to the indomitable spirit of his people, a spirit that sought to explore, understand, and conquer the unknown. The tension in the arena was palpable as the two warriors faced each other. The crowd leaned forward, holding their breath in anticipation. The silence was broken by the deep, resonant voice of the announcer, echoing across the arena. Ladies and gentlemen of Exila Prime and beyond, welcome to the Zeph Colosseum. Today we witness a battle of legends. On one side, the undefeated champion, Karak the unyielding. The crowd erupted in a thunderous cheer. And on the other, a newcomer from a distant world, Michael the human. The cheers were mixed with murmurs of curiosity. Michael had made a name for himself in smaller skirmishes, but facing Karak was a challenge of a different magnitude. Yet there was something in his demeanor, a quiet confidence that intrigued even the most skeptical of spectators. As the crowd settled, the announcer's voice boomed again, signaling the start of the battle. The gong sounded, reverberating through the arena, and the warriors sprang into action. Karak charged forward with a bellow, his hammer swinging in a deadly arc. The ground shook under his weight, and the air hummed with the force of his swing. Michael, with a calm and focused expression, sidestepped the initial attack with a nimbleness that belied his human origins. He darted in close, striking quickly at Karak's exposed flank. The blade of his sword flashed in the sunlight, drawing a thin line of blood. Karak roared in anger, the sound echoing off the arena walls. The crowd gasped in surprise. Michael's movements were precise and calculated. Each strike aimed to exploit the smallest weakness in Karak's defenses. He danced around the larger warrior, using his agility to stay out of reach. Karak, frustrated by his inability to land a decisive blow, swung his hammer wildly, trying to catch the elusive human. But Michael was not just fast. He was strategic. He observed Carrick's patterns, noting the slight delay in his swings and the overextension of his reach. With each passing moment, Michael's confidence grew. He began to push the offensive, pressing Carrick back with a series of quick, precise strikes. His blade was a blur, moving faster than the eye could follow. The crowd watched in awe as Michael displayed a level of skill and finesse that few had seen. Even Queen Zafira, usually composed and reserved, leaned forward in her seat, her golden eyes fixed on the battle below. There was a spark of interest in her gaze, a recognition of something extraordinary. As the battle raged on, it became clear that Michael was not just fighting to survive. He was fighting to win. His movements were a blend of Earth's martial arts and techniques adapted to the alien environment. He used the terrain to his advantage, forcing Carrick into awkward positions and capitalizing on every opening. Carrick, for all his strength and experience, found himself on the defensive. His attacks grew more desperate. His breathing labored. The crowd's cheers began to shift from shouts of support for Carrick to awed encouragement for the human warrior. Michael's underdog status and his display of prowess won over the hearts of the spectators. The climax of the battle came when Michael, anticipating Carrick's next move, sidestepped a powerful swing and landed a decisive blow. With a swift, precise motion, he disarmed Carrick, sending the massive hammer crashing to the ground. In the same fluid movement, he brought his sword to Carrick's throat, the cold metal pressing against the champion's skin. The arena fell silent, the tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Carrick, panting and bloodied, stared at Michael with a mix of anger and respect. The human's face remained calm, his eyes locked onto Carrick's for a moment. Time seemed to stand still. Then, with a slow, deliberate motion, Michael lowered his sword and stepped back. He sheathed his blade and extended a hand to Carrick, a gesture of respect and sportsmanship. The crowd erupted into thunderous applause, a deafening roar of approval and admiration. Michael had not only defeated the champion, but had done so with honor. Carrick, after a brief hesitation, took Michael's hand and rose to his feet. The two warriors stood together, a symbol of mutual respect and the unbreakable spirit of warriors. As the cheers continued to echo through the arena, Michael glanced up at the royal box. Queen Zafira was standing, her eyes locked onto his. There was a look of intrigue and approval on her face, a silent acknowledgement of his achievement. As the crowd continued to cheer, Michael felt a rush of emotions. He had come to Exila Prime seeking purpose, and now he stood victorious in the greatest arena on the planet. But more than that, he had caught the eye of the most powerful being in the realm, Queen Zafira. The journey ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in a long while, Michael felt the sense of belonging and a glimmer of hope for the future. The echoes of the crowd's thunderous applause lingered in the Zeph Coliseum long after the match had ended. Michael stood in the center of the arena, catching his breath and taking in the surreal moment. The exhilaration of victory mingled with a sense of surreal disbelief. As a human on an alien world, he had faced and defeated the planet's mightiest warrior. It was a feat that would be talked about for ages, not just on Exila Prime but across the galaxy. Michael's attention was drawn to the royal box, where Queen Zafira stood, her eyes fixed intently on him. The Queen's enigmatic expression was unreadable, but there was an unmistakable intensity in her golden gaze. As their eyes locked, Michael felt a strange pull, a magnetic connection that transcended the physical distance between them. Her presence was commanding, almost overwhelming, yet there was a subtle warmth that hinted at something more beneath the surface. With a graceful motion, Queen Zafira raised her hand, and the crowd fell silent. The arena, which moments ago was filled with the roaring approval of thousands, now held a hushed reverence. The Queen's voice, clear and melodious, rang out across the Coliseum, amplified by the arena's acoustics. "People of Exila Prime," she began, her voice carrying the weight of authority and grace, "today, we have witnessed a rare and extraordinary event. A human warrior, far from his home, has bested our greatest champion. Let us honor his courage and skill." The crowd erupted into applause once more, a testament to Michael's newfound status. He bowed his head slightly in acknowledgement, feeling a mix of pride and humility. As the noise subsided, Queen Zafira continued, her tone now softer, almost intimate, as if addressing Michael personally. She told his guards, "I want him, bring him here." "Michael, the human," she called, her voice a delicate blend of curiosity and command, approached the royal box. I wish to speak with you." A murmur rippled through the crowd. It was rare for anyone, let alone a foreign warrior, to be summoned by the Queen in such a public manner. Michael felt a rush of adrenaline and uncertainty. He had come to Exila Prime seeking purpose, and now he stood on the precipice of something monumental. As he made his way towards the royal box, the guards stepped aside, their expressions a mixture of awe and respect. Michael ascended the steps with a composed demeanor, but his mind raced with thoughts and questions. What did the Queen want? Was this an invitation or a summons? His heart pounded in his chest as he approached the Queen, her imposing presence magnified by the grandeur of her surroundings. Queen Zafira stood at the edge of the royal platform, her golden eyes studying him with an intensity that made Michael feel exposed, as if she could see through to his very soul. Up close, she was even more striking. Her violet skin seemed to shimmer with an inner light, and the intricate patterns on her robes told stories of a rich and ancient culture. She was a vision of regality and beauty, yet there was an aura of strength that made it clear she was not to be trifled with. Michael bowed deeply, a gesture of respect and acknowledgement of her authority. "Your Majesty," he said, his voice steady despite the tumult of emotions within him. Queen Zafira smiled, a subtle curve of her lips that softened her otherwise stern demeanor. "Rise, Michael," she commanded gently. "You have proven yourself in the arena, but now I wish to know more about the man behind the warrior." Michael straightened, meeting her gaze. "I am honored, Your Majesty. What would you like to know?" Zafira studied him for a moment, her eyes searching his face. "Tell me of your journey. What brought you to Exila Prime and what drives you to fight in our arenas?" Michael hesitated, choosing his words carefully. "I came seeking purpose, a challenge. My world, Earth, has its own battles, but I felt drawn to the stars, to the unknown. The arena was a place where I could test myself, where strength and strategy mattered more than politics or prejudice." The Queen nodded thoughtfully. "You speak of challenges, yet you faced Karak, our mightiest warrior, with a calm that belied your status as an outsider. Where does that courage come from?" Michael paused, considering her question. "Courage is born from experience and necessity. I've faced many challenges in my life, and each has taught me something valuable. But today, in that arena, I fought not just for survival, but to prove that even an outsider can make a mark in your world." Zafira's expression softened, a hint of admiration flickering in her eyes. "You speak with wisdom, Michael, and your actions have proven your strength. I see potential in you, not just as a warrior, but as a leader." She gestured to her aides, who stepped forward with a formal scroll. The Queen took it and unrolled the document, her voice taking on a formal tone. "In recognition of your bravery and skill, I, Queen Zafira of Exila Prime, offer you a position as a commander in my army. You will lead our forces, share your knowledge, and help defend our planet from any who seek to harm it." The offer hung in the air, heavy with significance. Michael felt a surge of emotion, a mix of honor, excitement, and uncertainty. This was more than he had ever expected. A chance to make a real difference, to belong to something greater than himself. Michael met the Queen's gaze, a sense of resolve settling over him. "Your Majesty," he began, his voice steady, "I am honored by your offer. I accept, and I will serve with all the skills and knowledge I possess." Queen Zafira's smile broadened, a rare and genuine expression. "Welcome to Exila Prime's army, Commander Michael. May your journey here be one of honor and glory." With the formalities concluded, the Queen dismissed her aides and gestured for Michael to join her in a more private area behind the royal platform. The space was adorned with lush, alien flora and a cascade of crystalline water, creating a serene ambient. Zafira motioned for Michael to sit, and she took a seat opposite him, her demeanor now more relaxed. "I trust you understand the gravity of your new position," she said, her tone sincere. "Our world is at a critical juncture. Tensions with neighboring planets, particularly Draconis, have been escalating. We need leaders who can think beyond the traditional methods, who can bring new perspectives to our strategies." Michael nodded, appreciating her candor. "I understand, Your Majesty. My background may be different, but I believe that diversity in leadership can only strengthen our defenses. I will do everything in my power to protect Exila Prime and its people." Zafira's eyes softened, her voice taking on a more personal tone. "You are an outsider, Michael, but you have shown a respect for our ways and a willingness to learn. That is why I believe you can help bridge the gap between our people and those who view us as enemies. It is not just a matter of strength, but of understanding and unity. Michael felt a deep respect for the Queen. She was not just a ruler. She was a visionary, someone who saw beyond the immediate conflicts to the potential for lasting peace. Your vision for Exila Prime is admirable, Your Majesty. I am honored to be a part of it. A moment of silence passed between them, filled with unspoken thoughts and mutual respect. Michael sensed that there was more to Queen Zafira's interest in him than just his combat prowess. There was a depth to her, a wisdom that came from years of leadership and perhaps personal sacrifice. As the conversation drew to a close, Queen Zafira stood, signaling the end of their meeting. We will begin your integration into the army immediately. There is much to do and little time to waste. Michael rose, bowing once more. I look forward to serving Your Majesty. As he turned to leave, Zafira's voice stopped him. Michael, she said, her tone soft but firm. Exila Prime is a place of opportunity and challenge. I hope you find what you are looking for here and perhaps something more. Michael met her gaze, a silent understanding passing between them. Thank you, Your Majesty. I believe I already have. With a final nod, Michael left the royal platform, his mind buzzing with the events of the day. He had come to Exila Prime as an outsider, but now he was a commander in the Queen's army, entrusted with the protection of an entire world. It was a daunting responsibility, but one that filled him with a sense of purpose he hadn't felt in a long time. As he walked through the bustling corridors of the Colosseum, the crowd's cheers still echoing in his ears, Michael felt a new resolve. He had found his place on Exila Prime, and with it, a chance to build a legacy that would be remembered long after he was gone. The road ahead was uncertain, fraught with challenges and dangers, but Michael was ready. He had the Queen's trust and, more importantly, her respect. And that, he knew, was the first step towards achieving greatness on this alien world. The next morning, the first light of Exila Prime's twin suns filtered through the translucent walls of the palace, casting a soft, golden glow. Michael stood on the balcony of his newly assigned quarters, overlooking the sprawling capital city of Zafira. The view was breathtaking. Alien architecture blended seamlessly with lush, verdant landscapes, and the vibrant colors of exotic flora created a tapestry of life and culture. It was a stark contrast to the harsh, concrete jungles of Earth, and Michael felt a deep sense of awe and wonder. His reverie was interrupted by a knock at the door. A young aide, dressed in the ornate uniform of the royal court, entered and bowed. Commander Michael, the Queen requests your presence in the war chamber. The council awaits your introduction. Michael nodded, adjusting his armor, a gift from the Queen, crafted from a unique alloy that was both lightweight and incredibly strong. The armor, a sleek combination of black and silver, was adorned with the crest of Exila Prime, a stylized representation of the twin suns encircled by a protective shield. It felt strange, yet oddly fitting, to wear the emblem of a world not his own. As he made his way through the palace corridors, Michael couldn't help but notice the curious glances from the palace staff and soldiers. His human features, his height and his unfamiliar gait set him apart in a world where diversity of species was the norm, yet humans were a rare sight. The whispers of the human commander echoed in the halls, a mixture of curiosity, skepticism, and perhaps a hint of admiration. The war chamber was an imposing room, its walls lined with holographic displays and intricate maps of the galaxy. At the center of the room stood a large circular table, around which sat the Council of Exila Prime, advisors, military leaders, and representatives from various factions. Queen Zafira sat at the head of the table, her presence commanding as always. She looked up as Michael entered, a slight smile playing on her lips. Commander Michael, she greeted, her voice resonating with authority. Welcome to the war chamber. Please join us. Michael stepped forward, feeling the weight of the council members' eyes upon him. He took his place beside the Queen, his posture straight and confident. Zafira gestured to the council, her voice clear and calm. This is the Council of Exila Prime, the leaders who guide our world. And this, she said, turning to the council, is Commander Michael, our newest ally and leader in the military. There was a moment of silence, a palpable tension in the air. Then, one of the council members, a stern-looking alien with deep blue skin and sharp, angular features, spoke up. While we respect your decision, we must ask, what qualifies this outsider to lead our forces? He is not of our world, nor does he understand our ways. Michael felt the intensity of the scrutiny, but he remained composed. Before he could respond, Zafira raised her hand. "I understand your concerns, General Thal, but Michael has proven himself in the arena and has shown a willingness to learn and adapt. His experience and perspective as a human may offer us new strategies and approaches." She turned to Michael, her golden eyes steady. "Commander, share with us your vision for the Army and how you intend to integrate your unique experiences with our traditions." Michael took a deep breath, gathering his thoughts. "Thank you, Your Majesty," he began, addressing the council with a respectful nod. "I understand that my presence here is unconventional. As a human, I bring a different set of skills and experiences. My world, Earth, has faced numerous challenges, both in warfare and in survival. My people have had to adapt quickly and think creatively to overcome these challenges." He paused, gauging the reactions of the council members. Some seemed skeptical, others curious. Encouraged by the attention, he continued, "My goal is not to impose Earth's ways, but to blend the strengths of our cultures. I propose a reformation of the training programs, focusing on agility, adaptability, and unconventional tactics. We can incorporate Earth's technological advancements and combat techniques while respecting the core values and traditions of Exila Prime's forces." The room was silent as the council members considered his words. Then, a tall, regal figure with silver hair and a flowing robe spoke up. "Your ideas are intriguing, Commander, but how do you propose to implement such changes without disrupting the established?" Michael met the man's gaze, recognizing him as Lord Valar, the Queen's chief advisor. "Change is always challenging, Lord Valar, but I believe that with the right approach, we can integrate new methods without losing what makes Exila Prime's army strong. I propose starting with a select group of soldiers, volunteers who are open to learning new techniques. They will train under my guidance, and if the results are positive, we can gradually expand the program." Queen Zafira nodded thoughtfully. "A wise approach, Commander. It balances innovation with respect for tradition." General Thal leaned back, crossing his arms. "And if your methods fail?" Michael held his gaze. "Then I will take full responsibility. But I have faith in the soldiers of Exila Prime and in our ability to work together. We all share the same goal, the protection and prosperity of this world." The council members exchanged glances, murmuring among themselves. Finally, Queen Zafira spoke, her voice firm and decisive. "The council has heard your proposal, Commander Michael. We will allow you to proceed with your plan. You will have access to the resources and support you need. Do not disappoint us." Michael bowed, a gesture of gratitude and respect. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I will do my utmost to honor this opportunity." As the meeting adjourned, Michael felt a mix of relief and determination. He knew the road ahead would be challenging, but he was resolved to prove his worth and make a meaningful impact. As the council members filed out, Queen Zafira lingered, her eyes following Michael as he gathered his things. "Commander," she called, her voice softer now, devoid of the formality of the council session. Michael turned to face her, noticing the subtle shift in her demeanor. She seemed more approachable, the weight of leadership momentarily set aside. "Yes, Your Majesty," he replied, inclining his head. Zafira stepped closer, her expression contemplative. "You handled yourself well in there. Not many can stand before the council and speak with such confidence, especially as an outsider." Michael met her gaze, feeling a warmth in her words. "I appreciate your support, Your Majesty. It means a great deal to me." A smile touched her lips, a rare and genuine expression. "You have earned it, Michael, but remember, respect and trust must be continually earned, especially in a place as complex as Exila Prime." Michael nodded, understanding the subtle warning in her words. "I will not take it for granted, Your Majesty. I intend to prove myself not just to the Council, but to all of Exila Prime." Zafira's eyes softened, a flicker of something unspoken passing between them. "Good. I look forward to seeing your progress." And Michael, she paused, choosing her words carefully. "If you ever need guidance or have questions, do not hesitate to seek me out. The path of leadership is rarely a solitary one." Michael felt a surge of gratitude and respect. "Thank you, Your Majesty. Your guidance is invaluable." With a final nod, Queen Zafira turned and left the war chamber, her regal presence leaving a lingering aura of authority. Michael watched her go, a sense of purpose settling over him. He had been given an incredible opportunity, and he was determined to make the most of it. The following days were a whirlwind of activity. Michael threw himself into his new role, diving headfirst into the intricacies of Exila Prime's military structure. He spent hours studying the training regimens, the technology at their disposal, and the history of their martial traditions. The more he learned, the more he realized the depth of the challenge before him. The soldiers, initially wary of the human commander, gradually warmed to him as they saw his dedication and willingness to learn. Michael made it a point to interact with them on a personal level. Listening to their concerns and sharing stories from Earth, he found common ground in their shared experiences as warriors, regardless of their species. Slowly, respect replaced skepticism, and curiosity supplanted doubt. Michael's first major initiative was the creation of a specialized training unit, composed of volunteers who were open to experimenting with new techniques. He dubbed them the Vanguard, a name that symbolized their role as pioneers in the integration of Earth's methods with Exila Prime's traditions. The Vanguard consisted of a diverse group of soldiers, each representing different factions and species united by a common goal. The training regimen Michael implemented was rigorous and unconventional. He introduced a blend of Earth's martial arts, focusing on agility, precision, and mental discipline. He also incorporated advanced technology, including simulation pods that recreated various combat scenarios. These simulations allowed the Vanguard to experience a wide range of situations, from space battles to ground skirmishes, honing their adaptability and strategic thinking. One of the most significant innovations Michael brought was the concept of tactical teamwork. On Earth, the effectiveness of small, highly coordinated units had proven invaluable in modern warfare. Michael adapted this principle to the unique strengths of Exila Prime's soldiers, creating specialized squads that could operate autonomously or as part of a larger force. Each squad was trained to exploit their individual abilities while functioning as a cohesive unit. The early days were challenging. There were moments of frustration both for Michael and the soldiers as they struggled to adapt to the new methods. Some questioned the necessity of change, while others doubted Michael's understanding of their culture. But Michael remained patient and persistent, leading by example and demonstrating the practical benefits of his strategies. Gradually, the Vanguard began to see results. The soldiers became faster, more agile, and more versatile in their combat abilities. Their coordination improved, and they developed a deeper understanding of each other's strengths and weaknesses. The simulation exercises revealed a marked increase in their effectiveness, both individually. News of the Vanguard's progress spread throughout the military ranks, sparking a wave of interest and curiosity. Soldiers who had been skeptical began to see the potential of the new training methods. Michael's success with the Vanguard earned him a growing respect among the troops, and even the council members who had initially doubted him began to acknowledge his contributions. One evening, as the sun set over the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Michael stood in the training grounds, watching the Vanguard run through a final drill. The soldiers moved with precision and grace, their movements fluid and coordinated. It was a sight that filled him with pride and satisfaction. As the drill concluded, Michael approached the squad leaders, offering feedback and encouragement. The soldiers greeted him with respect, their expressions reflecting a newfound confidence and camaraderie. It was clear that the Vanguard had become more than just a training unit. They were a close-knit team, united by a shared purpose. After the session, Michael lingered in the training grounds, lost in thought. He had come a long way since his arrival on Exila Prime, but he knew there was still much to do. The looming threat of Draconis hung over them, a constant reminder of the challenges ahead. Yet, for the first time, Michael felt a sense of belonging and purpose. He had found a place where he could make a difference, where his skills and experiences were valued. As he gazed up at the twin moons rising in the sky, a voice broke through his reverie. Commander Michael called a familiar melodic voice. He turned to see Queen Zephyra approaching, her violet skin glowing softly in the moonlight. She wore a simple yet elegant robe, her golden eyes reflecting the light of the moons. There was a warmth in her expression, a quiet appreciation that made Michael feel at ease. "Your Majesty," he greeted, bowing his head, "to what do I owe the honor?" Zephyra smiled, a hint of amusement in her eyes. "Must it always be business with you, Commander? I came to see the Vanguard's progress and to speak with you. It seems you have made quite an impact." Michael chuckled, a rare, genuine smile spreading across his face. "I'm just doing my best, Your Majesty. The soldiers deserve the credit. They've worked hard and embraced the changes." The Queen nodded, her gaze drifting to the training grounds. "You've done more than that, Michael. You've brought new ideas and a fresh perspective. You've shown that even in a world as diverse as ours, there is always room for growth and innovation." There was a pause, a comfortable silence as they stood side by side, watching the stars begin to twinkle in the night sky. Michael felt a sense of connection, a shared understanding that transcended words. "Your Majesty," he began, hesitating for a moment. "I've been meaning to ask, why did you choose me for this role? You could have appointed anyone, yet you chose an outsider." Dafira turned to face him, her expression thoughtful. "Because, Michael, I believe in the strength of diversity. Our world is rich with different species, cultures, and traditions. But sometimes we need an outsider's perspective to see beyond our limitations. You came here with no preconceived notions, no biases. You offered us something new, and that is invaluable." Her words resonated with Michael, a profound sense of gratitude swelling within him. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I won't let you down." The Queen's smile softened, her eyes reflecting a sincerity that touched him deeply. "I know you won't, Michael. You've already begun to prove yourself, and I believe there is much more you will accomplish. Together we can create a future that is not defined by our differences but enriched by them." With those words, Queen Zafira turned and began to walk away, leaving Michael standing in the soft glow of the moonlight. As he watched her retreating figure, he felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. He had found his place on Exila Prime, and with the support of the Queen and the growing trust of the soldiers, he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As the night deepened and the stars shone brightly overhead, Michael knew that his journey was just beginning. The path to unity and peace was fraught with obstacles, but with courage, wisdom, and the strength of those around him, he believed they could forge a legacy that would transcend the stars. In the weeks that followed, the Vanguard's success became a beacon of hope and inspiration throughout Exila Prime. The new training methods and tactical innovations had begun to ripple across the planet's military forces. Michael's reputation as a commander who could blend the best of human ingenuity with alien tradition grew, and with it, the respect and loyalty of the soldiers under his command. Yet, amidst the burgeoning optimism, a dark shadow loomed over the horizon, the threat of an invasion from Draconis. Draconis, a neighboring planet, had long been a source of tension and conflict. Known for its militaristic society and advanced technology, Draconis harbored ambitions of expansion and control. For years, a fragile peace had been maintained through delicate negotiations and strategic deterrence. But recent intelligence indicated a disturbing escalation in their military activities. Draconis' forces had been mobilizing, their fleets amassing near the border of Exila Prime space. The prospect of an invasion was no longer a question of if but when. The war chamber became a hub of frantic activity, with council members, military leaders, and strategists poring over maps and data. Holographic projections of star systems flickered in the air, showing the positions of both Exila Prime's and Draconis' fleet. The atmosphere was tense, the weight of impending conflict pressing heavily on everyone present. Michael stood at the edge of the central table, his eyes scanning the projections. He had quickly adapted to the complexities of interstellar warfare, but the sheer scale of the potential conflict was daunting. Exila Prime's forces were formidable, but Draconis' military was known for its ruthless efficiency and technological prowess. The situation demanded not just strength, but also cunning and foresight. Queen Zafira entered the room, her presence commanding immediate attention. She moved with a quiet grace, her violet skin glowing faintly under the war chamber's dim lighting. Her golden eyes surveyed the gathered leaders, a steely resolve evident in her gaze. As she took her seat, the room fell silent, all eyes turning towards her. Council members, commanders, and strategists, she began, her voice steady and authoritative. The time for preparation is over. Our intelligence confirms that Draconis is preparing for an invasion. We must be ready to defend our world, our people, and our way of life. She paused, allowing her words to sink in. The gravity of the situation was palpable. We have the strength, but we must also have the strategy. Commander Michael, she turned her gaze to him. You have shown exceptional leadership and innovative thinking. I would like you to present your plan for the defense of Exila Prime. Michael nodded, stepping forward. He had spent countless hours developing a comprehensive strategy, but now standing before the most powerful leaders of the planet. The weight of his responsibility felt heavier than he took a deep breath and began. Your Majesty, esteemed council members, he started activating a holographic map of the surrounding star systems. The key to our defense lies in understanding Draconis' tactics and leveraging our strengths. Draconis has a larger fleet, but their strategy relies heavily on overwhelming force and intimidation. We must counter this with precision and adaptability. He gestured to the map, highlighting key positions. Our first objective is to secure the outer defense line. This will involve deploying our fastest ships to intercept and disrupt Draconis' advance. We will use hit-and-run tactics, utilizing our knowledge of the terrain and our advanced cloaking technology to create confusion and slow their progress. Michael paused, scanning the room for reactions. The council members listened intently, their expressions ranging from thoughtful to concerned. He continued, our second objective is to defend the planetary shield generators. These installations are our last line of defense. We must protect them at all costs. I propose stationing elite units, including the Vanguard, at these key points. They will be equipped with the latest technology and prepared to engage in both ground and aerial combat. As he spoke, Michael could see the council members nodding in agreement. His plan was risky, but grounded in a thorough understanding of both Exila Prime's capabilities and Draconis' known weaknesses. He moved to the final part of his presentation, the most critical aspect. Our final objective is to disrupt their command structure, he said, his tone serious. Draconis' forces are highly disciplined, but they rely heavily on central command. If we can identify and neutralize their leadership, we can sow chaos within their ranks and turn the tide in our favor. Michael concluded his presentation, looking to Queen Zafira. Your Majesty, these strategies are designed to maximize our strengths and exploit the enemy's weaknesses. With your approval, we can begin immediate preparations. Queen Zafira nodded, her expression thoughtful. She turned to the council members. What say you, council? Are we in agreement? General Thal, the stern military leader who had initially questioned Michael's appointment, was the first to speak. Commander Michael's plan is sound. It balances aggression with defense, and his understanding of both our forces and the enemy's tactics is impressive. I support this strategy. One by one, the council members voiced their approval. The atmosphere in the war chamber shifted, the collective resolve of the leaders solidifying into a unified front. Queen Zafira stood, her voice ringing with determination. Then it is decided. We will implement Commander Michael's plan and prepare for the defense of Exila Prime. May the strength of our ancestors guide us, and may our unity bring us victory. With the plan approved, the entire planet mobilized for war. The skies above Zafira buzzed with activity as ships took off, carrying soldiers and supplies to strategic locations. The once bustling markets and vibrant streets of the capital city took on a more somber tone as civilians prepared for the possibility of conflict reaching their homes. The air was thick with a mixture of anxiety and determination. Michael threw himself into the preparations, working tirelessly alongside the Vanguard and other military units. He oversaw the deployment of troops, the distribution of equipment, and the coordination of defenses. The soldiers under his command, inspired by his leadership and dedication, responded with unwavering commitment. The Vanguard, in particular, had become a symbol of hope and resilience. They trained rigorously, honing their skills and preparing for the battle. One evening, as the final preparations were being made, Michael found himself in the palace gardens, seeking a moment of quiet amidst the chaos. The gardens were a serene oasis, filled with alien flora that glowed softly in the twilight. It was a place of peace, a stark contrast to the war preparations that consumed the rest of the palace.
As he walked among the luminescent plants, he heard the soft rustle of footsteps behind him. Turning, he saw Queen Zafira approaching, her robes flowing gracefully as she moved. She seemed more relaxed here, away from the weight of leadership and the eyes of her subjects.
Your Majesty, Michael greeted, bowing his head. I didn't expect to find you here. Zafira looked up as he neared, a small smile playing on her lips. Michael, she greeted, her voice warm and welcoming. I didn't expect to find anyone else here. It's a peaceful spot, isn't it? Michael returned her smile, feeling a warmth spread through him at her presence. It is. Sometimes it's nice to escape the chaos, even if just for a moment. Zafira nodded, her eyes reflecting the garden's soft light. I often come here to think, to find clarity. It's easy to get lost in the weight of responsibility, but moments like these remind me of the beauty and peace we're fighting to protect. Michael sat down beside her, feeling an easy comfort in her presence. You bear a heavy burden, Zafira, but you're not alone in this. We're in this together, all of us. She glanced at him, her gaze intense yet gentle. You've been a great support, Michael, not just as a commander, but as a friend. It's rare for me to find someone who sees beyond the crown, who understands the person beneath. There was a moment of silence, filled with unspoken emotions. Michael felt a flutter in his chest, a feeling he couldn't quite name. He looked at Zafira, her beauty and strength captivating him. I've seen the person beneath, and she's remarkable. Strong, compassionate, and fiercely dedicated to her people. Zafira's cheeks flushed a delicate shade of violet, a rare display of vulnerability. She reached out, her hand lightly touching his, and I've seen the man beneath, the warrior, kind, brave, and with a heart that cares deeply. You've been a light in the darkness, Michael, and I'm grateful for your presence. Michael felt a surge of warmth at her touch, a connection that transcended words. He gently squeezed her hand, a silent acknowledgement of the bond they shared. And you, Zafira, have shown me a world of wonder and a home I never expected to find. They sat there, hands intertwined, the world around them fading into the background. In that quiet moment, amidst the beauty of the garden, they shared an unspoken promise, a promise of support, friendship, and something more. Something that neither was ready to name, but both felt deeply. The following days were a blur of activity, as the final preparations were made. The soldiers of Exila Prime stood ready, their resolve unshaken. The vanguard, now a symbol of the planet's resilience, prepared to take their place on the front lines. The city of Zafira, usually vibrant and bustling, had taken on a solemn air, the weight of impending conflict pressing down on its people. Michael found himself at the center of it all, coordinating strategies and ensuring that every detail was accounted for. His leadership had solidified, and his presence had become a source of inspiration for many. The trust and respect he had earned from the soldiers and the council were evident in their unwavering support. As the final hours before the anticipated invasion ticked away, a quiet calm settled over the planet. It was the calm before the storm, a moment of stillness before the chaos of battle. Michael stood on the observation deck of the command center, looking out over the city. The twin moons cast a soft, ethereal light illuminating the landscape in a ghostly glow. He took a deep breath, steeling himself for the challenges ahead. The weight of responsibility was heavy, but it was a burden he was willing to bear. He thought of the soldiers who would fight alongside him, of the people they sought to protect, and of Queen Zafira, whose faith in him had never wavered. In the quiet of the night, Michael felt a profound sense of purpose. The battle for Exila Prime was not just a fight for survival. It was a fight for unity, for the future of a world that had become his own. With that thought, he turned away from the window, ready to face the dawn and the battle it would bring. The time had come. The fate of Exila Prime hung in the balance, and Michael was determined to see it through. As the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, he felt a surge of determination. The invasion was imminent, and the battle for Exila Prime was about to begin. With courage in his heart and the strength of his allies at his side, Michael was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The fight for the future had begun, and he would not falter. The battle was over, and the dawn of a new day brought with it a palpable sense of relief and triumph. Exila Prime had withstood the onslaught of Draconis, and the people of the planet were safe. The victory, hard-fought and dearly won, was a testament to the unity and strength of its defenders. Now, it was time to celebrate and honor those who had made it possible. The capital city of Zafira buzzed with excitement and joy. The streets, which had been tense and anxious just days before, were now alive with festivities. Banners adorned with the crest of Exila Prime fluttered in the warm breeze, their vibrant colors a symbol of hope and renewal. The air was filled with the sounds of music and laughter, a symphony of life that echoed through the city. The centerpiece of the celebrations was the Grand Festival, a massive event held in the heart of the city. The festival grounds, located in a sprawling park surrounded by the majestic architecture of Zafira, had been transformed into a wonderland of lights and decorations. Stalls lined the pathways, offering an array of exotic foods and crafts from across the galaxy. Performers roamed the grounds, showcasing the diverse cultures of Exila Prime through music, dance, and art. At the center of it all stood the grand stage, an impressive structure adorned with the symbols of unity and victory. It was here that the people of Exila Prime gathered, eager to honor the heroes of the battle and celebrate their shared victory. The stage was flanked by towering holographic displays, showing scenes from the battle and the faces of those who had fought bravely to protect their home. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the city, the crowds gathered in anticipation. The festival's main event was about to begin. Queen Zephyra, resplendent in a flowing gown of deep violet adorned with golden accents, took the stage. Her presence commanded the attention of everyone present, and as she stepped forward, a hush fell over the people of Exila Prime. She began, her voice clear and powerful. Today, we celebrate a great victory. We stood united against a formidable enemy, and through our courage and resilience, we have secured our future. This victory is not just mine, nor is it just the victory of our brave soldiers. It is a victory for all of us, a testament to the strength and unity of our people. The crowd erupted in applause, the sound reverberating through the festival grounds. Zephyra paused, allowing the cheers to die down before continuing. But today, we also honor those who made this victory possible. The warriors who fought with bravery and honor, the leaders who guided us, and the people who stood by their side. It is because of them that we stand here today, free and unbroken. As the queen spoke, the holographic displays behind her lit up, showing images of the battle's key moments. The audience watched in awe as scenes of bravery and sacrifice played out before them. The images were a poignant reminder of the cost of victory, but also a celebration of the indomitable spirit of Exila Prime's defenders. Zephyra then turned to the side, gesturing for Michael to join her on the stage. Dressed in his ceremonial armor, Michael stepped forward, feeling the weight of the moment. The crowd's applause grew louder, a wave of appreciation and respect washing over him. He had come to this world as an outsider, but now he stood as one of its champions, a symbol of unity and hope. Commander Michael, Zephyra addressed him, her voice filled with warmth and admiration. You came to us from a distant world, seeking purpose and a place to belong. You have not only found that purpose but have also shown us the true meaning of courage and leadership. Your innovative tactics, unwavering resolve, and deep compassion have earned you the respect and gratitude of all of Exila Prime. Michael bowed his head, humbled by her words. The queen continued, "It is with great honor that I present to you the Star of Valor, the highest honor of Exila Prime, in recognition of your extraordinary service and bravery." The crowd erupted into a standing ovation as Zephyra placed the medal around Michael's neck. The Star of Valor glimmered in the fading sunlight, its golden surface reflecting the admiration of the people. Michael felt a surge of emotion, a deep sense of belonging and fulfillment. This world had embraced him, and in turn, he had given it his all. As the applause subsided, Michael stepped forward to address the crowd. He took a deep breath, gathering his thoughts. "People of Exila Prime," he began, his voice steady and heartfelt. "This victory belongs to all of us. It is a testament to what we can achieve when we stand together, united by a common purpose. I am deeply honored to be a part of this world, and I promise to continue serving with all the strength and dedication I can offer." The crowd cheered, their voices blending into a chorus of unity and celebration. Michael looked out at the sea of faces, feeling a deep connection to each and every one of them. They were no longer just the people of Exila Prime. They were his people, his family. As the ceremony continued, other heroes of the battle were honored, each receiving their well-deserved recognition. Captain Aria, the fearless leader of the vanguard, was celebrated for her tactical brilliance and unwavering courage. The vanguard itself was hailed as a symbol of hope and resilience, their bravery in defending the shield generators a key factor in the victory. The night wore on, and the celebrations continued with feasting, dancing, and music. The festival grounds were alive with joy and laughter, a vibrant tapestry of life and culture. Michael mingled with the crowd, exchanging stories and sharing in the festivities. He was no longer an outsider. He was a part of the community, embraced and celebrated by the people he had come to protect. As the night deepened, Michael found himself wandering away from the bustling crowd, seeking a moment of quiet reflection. He made his way to a small, secluded garden at the edge of the festival grounds. The garden was bathed in the soft glow of bioluminescent flowers, their gentle light casting a serene ambience. It was a place of peace, a stark contrast to the chaos of the battle and the energy of the celebrations. Michael sat on a stone bench, gazing up at the night sky. The stars shone brightly, a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the countless possibilities it held. As he sat there, lost in thought, he heard the soft rustle of footsteps behind him. Turning, he saw Queen Zephyra approaching, her presence as regal and calming as ever. Your Majesty, Michael greeted, standing to acknowledge her. Zephyra smiled, a warm and genuine expression. Michael, please, no need for formalities tonight. We are here to celebrate, not to stand on ceremony. Michael nodded, sitting back down as Zephyra joined him on the bench. They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, the soft glow of the flowers surrounding them like a gentle embrace. Finally, Zephyra spoke, her voice soft and reflective. It's a beautiful night, she said, gazing up at the stars, a fitting end to a day of triumph and celebration. Michael nodded, his gaze following hers. It is, a reminder of all we've accomplished and the journey ahead. Zephyra turned to him, her golden eyes reflecting the starlight. You have done so much for Exila Prime, Michael. You brought us new ideas, new strength, and a renewed sense of hope. You have become a true leader, someone the people look up to and trust. Michael felt a warmth in her words, a deep sense of gratitude and respect. Thank you, Your Majesty. It has been an honor to serve, to be a part of something so much bigger than myself. The Zephyra smiled, a thoughtful expression crossing her face. When you first arrived, I saw in you a spark of something extraordinary, a potential that, with the right guidance, could grow into something truly remarkable. And you have surpassed all my expectations. Michael felt a surge of emotion, a deep connection to the woman sitting beside him. She had believed in him when others had doubted, had given him a chance to prove himself and find his place. He looked at her, a question lingering in his mind. Your Majesty, he began hesitantly, I have to ask, why did you choose me? What made you believe that I could make a difference here? The Zephyra turned to him, her gaze steady and sincere. Because, Michael, I saw in you a kindred spirit. Someone who, despite coming from a different world, shared the same values of courage, compassion, and a desire to protect. You had the strength to challenge the status quo, to bring new ideas and perspectives. And most importantly, you had the heart to care for the people, to put their well-being above all else. Michael felt a lump in his throat, a deep sense of gratitude swelling within him. He looked at Zephyra, his voice filled with emotion. Thank you, Your Majesty, for everything. You've given me a home, a purpose, and a chance to be a part of something incredible. The Zephyra reached out, placing a hand on his. And you've given us so much in return, Michael. You are not just a warrior or a commander. You are a part of our family, a leader who has earned the love and respect of the people. They sat in silence, the weight of her words settling over them. Michael felt a profound sense of belonging, a deep connection to this world and its people. He had found his place on Exila Prime, a place where he could make a difference, where he could be more than just a warrior. He was a leader, a protector, and a friend. As the night deepened, Zephyra stood, a thoughtful expression on her face. Come, Michael, there's one more thing we must do. Curious, Michael followed her through the garden and back to the festival grounds. The celebrations were still in full swing, the air filled with music and laughter. Zephyra led him to the grand stage, where a crowd had gathered, eager to hear from their queen and their hero one last time. Zephyra stepped forward, her presence commanding the attention of everyone present. The crowd fell silent, their eyes fixed on her. She turned to Michael, a warm smile on her face. People of Exila Prime, she began, her voice carrying the weight of authority and affection. We stand here tonight as a united people, stronger and more determined than ever before. We have faced great challenges and emerged victorious, thanks to the bravery and sacrifice of our warriors and leaders. She paused, her gaze sweeping over the crowd. Tonight, we honor not just the victory, but the spirit of unity and cooperation that has brought us together. We are not just a collection of species and cultures. We are one people, bound by a common purpose and a shared destiny. The crowd erupted into applause, their cheers echoing through the night. Zephyra turned to Michael, her eyes shining with pride. And now, it is my great honor to announce that, in recognition of his extraordinary service and dedication, Commander Michael shall be named the first Guardian of Exila Prime. Michael felt a surge of emotion, a deep sense of pride and responsibility. The title of First Guardian was a rare and esteemed honor, bestowed only on those who had shown exceptional leadership and devotion to the people. It was a symbol of trust and respect, a recognition of his role as a protector of Exila Prime. The crowd cheered, their voices a chorus of celebration and approval. Michael stepped forward, feeling the weight of the moment. He looked out at the sea of faces, feeling a deep connection to each and every one of them. This was his home, his people, and he would do everything in his power to protect and guide them. As the applause continued, Zafira leaned in, her voice soft and sincere. "Welcome home, Michael. May your journey be filled with honor, courage, and love." Michael smiled, a sense of peace and fulfillment settling over him. He had found his place on Exila Prime, a place where he could make a difference and be a part of something greater than himself. As the night wore on, filled with celebration and joy, Michael knew that the future was bright, filled with endless possibilities. The stars above shone brightly, a reminder of the vast and boundless universe. And as Michael stood beside Queen Zafira, surrounded by the people of Exila Prime, he felt a deep sense of hope and promise. Together, they would build a future of peace and prosperity, a future where all could thrive and grow. Michael was reviewing battle reports when Zafira approached him, her presence a comforting balm amidst the stress. She placed a gentle hand on his shoulder, her touch sending a shiver down his spine. He looked up, meeting her gaze, and saw a softness in her eyes that mirrored his own feelings. "Michael," she began, her voice low and filled with emotion, "you've been remarkable throughout this conflict. Your courage and leadership have inspired everyone, including me." He smiled, a genuine warmth in his expression. "Thank you, Zafira, but I couldn't have done it without you. You've been my anchor, my guide. You inspire me to be better, to give my all." There was a pause, a moment of silence thick with unspoken words. Zafira stepped closer, her voice barely above a whisper. "Michael, I've come to realize something amidst all this chaos. I've come to care for you deeply, more than I've ever allowed myself to care for anyone." Michael's breath caught, his heart racing. He had felt the same pull, the same undeniable connection, but hearing it from her lips made it real, tangible. He took her hand, holding it gently. "Zafira, I've felt it too. From the moment we met, there's been something between us, something I can't ignore. I've tried to keep my feelings at bay, to focus on the battle, but I can't deny them anymore." Her eyes glistened with unshed tears, her voice trembling with emotion. "Neither can I, Michael. I love you. I know it's unexpected and perhaps ill-timed, but it's the truth." Michael's heart swelled with emotion, a rush of joy and relief washing over him. He pulled her into a tender embrace, his voice soft but firm. "And I love you, Zafira, with all my heart. This war has brought us closer, and I can't imagine facing the future without you by my side." They stood there, wrapped in each other's arms, a moment of love and connection amidst the chaos of war. The world around them seemed to fade away, leaving only the two of them, bound by a love that had blossomed in the most unlikely of circumstances. As they pulled back, Zafira cupped his face in her hands, her eyes shining with determination. "Whatever happens, Michael, we'll face it together. As partners, as equals. Our love will be our strength." Michael nodded, a resolute expression on his face. "Together. No matter what the future holds, we'll face it together." The battle was over, and the dawn of a new day brought with it a palpable sense of relief and triumph. Exila Prime had withstood the onslaught of Draconis, and the people of the planet were safe. The victory, hard-fought and dearly won, was a testament to the unity and strength of its defenders. Now, it was time to celebrate and honor those who had made it possible. The capital city of Zafira buzzed with excitement and joy. The streets, which had been tense and anxious just days before, were now alive with festivities. Banners adorned with the crest of Exila Prime fluttered in the warm breeze, their vibrant colors a symbol of hope and renewal. The air was filled with the sounds of music and laughter, a symphony of life that echoed through the city. The centerpiece of the celebrations was the Grand Festival, a massive event held in the heart of the city. The festival grounds, located in a sprawling park surrounded by the majestic architecture of Zafira, had been transformed into a wonderland of lights and decorations. Stalls lined the pathways, offering an array of exotic foods and crafts from across the galaxy. Performers roamed the grounds, showcasing the diverse cultures of Exila Prime through music, dance, and art. At the center of it all stood the grand stage, an impressive structure adorned with the symbols of unity and victory. It was here that the people of Exila Prime gathered, eager to honor the heroes of the battle and celebrate their shared victory. The stage was flanked by towering holographic displays, showing scenes from the battle and the faces of those who had fought bravely to protect their home. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the city, the crowds gathered in anticipation. The festival's main event was about to begin. Queen Zephyra, resplendent in a flowing gown of deep violet adorned with golden accents, took the stage. Her presence commanded the attention of everyone present, and as she stepped forward, a hush fell over the crowd. "So people of Exila Prime," she began, her voice clear and powerful. "Today we celebrate a great victory. We stood united against a formidable enemy, and through our courage and resilience, we have secured our future. This victory is not just mine, nor is it just the victory of our brave soldiers. It is a victory for all of us, a testament to the strength and unity of our people." The crowd erupted in applause, the sound reverberating through the festival grounds. Zephyra paused, allowing the cheers to die down before continuing. "But today, we also honor those who made this victory possible. The warriors who fought with bravery and honor, the leaders who guided us, and the people who stood by their side. It is because of them that we stand here today, free and unbroken." As the queen spoke, the holographic displays behind her lit up, showing images of the battle's key moments. The audience watched in awe as scenes of bravery and sacrifice played out before them. The images were a poignant reminder of the cost of victory, but also a celebration of the indomitable spirit of Exila Prime's defenders. Zephyra then turned to the side, gesturing for Michael to join her on the stage. Dressed in this ceremonial armor, Michael stepped forward, feeling the weight of the moment. The crowd's applause grew louder, a wave of appreciation and respect washing over him. He had come to this world as an outsider, but now he stood as one of its champions, a symbol of unity and "Commander Michael," Zephyra addressed him, her voice filled with warmth and admiration. "You came to us from a distant world, seeking purpose and a place to belong. You have not only found that purpose, but have also shown us the true meaning of courage and leadership. Your innovative tactics, unwavering resolve, and deep compassion have earned you the respect and gratitude of all of Exila Prime." Michael bowed his head, humbled by her words. The queen continued, "It is with great honor that I present to you the Star of Valor, the highest honor of Exila Prime, in recognition of your extraordinary service and bravery." The crowd erupted into a standing ovation as Zephyra placed the medal around Michael's neck. The Star of Valor glimmered in the fading sunlight, its golden surface reflecting the admiration of the people. Michael felt a surge of emotion, a deep sense of belonging and fulfillment. This world had embraced him, and in turn, he had given it his. As the applause subsided, Michael stepped forward to address the crowd. He took a deep breath, gathering his thoughts. "People of Exila Prime," he began, his voice steady and heartfelt. "This victory belongs to all of us. It is a testament to what we can achieve when we stand together, united by a common purpose. I am deeply honored to be a part of this world, and I promise to continue serving with all the strength and dedication I can offer." The crowd cheered, their voices blending into a chorus of unity and celebration. Michael looked out at the sea of faces, feeling a deep connection to each and every one of them. They were no longer just the people of Exila Prime. They were his people, his family. As the ceremony continued, other heroes of the battle were honored, each receiving their well-deserved recognition. Captain Arya, the fearless leader of the Vanguard, was celebrated for her tactical brilliance and unwavering courage. The Vanguard itself was hailed as a symbol of hope and resilience, their bravery in defending the shield generators a key factor in the victory. The night wore on, and the celebrations continued with feasting, dancing, and music. The festival grounds were alive with joy and laughter, a vibrant tapestry of life and culture. Michael mingled with the crowd, exchanging stories and sharing in the festivities. He was no longer an outsider. He was a part of the community, embraced and celebrated by the people he had come to protect. As the night deepened, Michael found himself wandering away from the bustling crowd, seeking a moment of quiet reflection. He made his way to a small, secluded garden at the edge of the festival grounds. The garden was bathed in the soft glow of bioluminescent flowers, their gentle light casting a serene ambiance. It was a place of peace, a stark contrast to the chaos of the battle and the energy of the celebrations. Michael sat on a stone bench, gazing up at the night sky. The stars shone brightly, a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the countless possibilities it held. As he sat there, lost in thought, he heard the soft rustle of footsteps behind him. Turning, he saw Queen Zephyra approaching, her presence as regal and calming as ever. "Your Majesty," Michael greeted, standing to acknowledge her. The Saphira smiled, a warm and genuine expression. "Michael, please, no need for formalities tonight. We are here to celebrate, not to stand on ceremony." Michael nodded, sitting back down as Saphira joined him on the bench. They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, the soft glow of the flowers surrounding them like a gentle embrace. Finally, Saphira spoke, her voice soft and reflective. "It's a beautiful night," she said, gazing up at the stars. "A fitting end to a day of triumph and celebration." Michael nodded, his gaze following hers. "It is, a reminder of all we've accomplished and the journey ahead." Saphira turned to him, her golden eyes reflecting the starlight. "You have done so much for Exila Prime. Michael, you brought us new ideas, new strength, and a renewed sense of hope. You have become a true leader, someone the people look up to and trust." Michael felt a warmth in her words, a deep sense of gratitude and respect. "Thank you, Your Majesty. It has been an honor to serve, to be a part of something so much bigger than myself." Saphira smiled, a thoughtful expression crossing her face. "You know, when you first arrived, I saw in you a spark of something extraordinary, a potential that, with the right guidance, could grow into something truly remarkable, and you have surpassed all my expectations." Michael felt a surge of emotion, a deep connection to the woman sitting beside him. She had believed in him when others had doubted, had given him a chance to prove himself and find his place. He looked at her, a question lingering in his mind. "Your Majesty," he began hesitantly, "I have to ask, why did you choose me? What made you believe that I could make a difference here?" Saphira turned to him, her gaze steady and sincere. "Because, Michael, I saw in you a kindred spirit. Someone who, despite coming from a different world, shared the same values of courage, compassion, and a desire to protect. You had the strength to challenge the status quo, to bring new ideas and perspectives. And most importantly, you had the heart to care for the people, to put their well-being above all else." Michael felt a lump in his throat, a deep sense of gratitude swelling within him. He looked at Saphira, his voice filled with emotion. "Thank you, Your Majesty, for everything. You've given me a home, a purpose, and a chance to be a part of something incredible." Saphira reached out, placing a hand on his. "And you've given us so much in return, Michael. You are not just a warrior or a commander. You are a part of our family, a leader who has earned the love and respect of the people." They sat in silence, the weight of her words settling over them. Michael felt a profound sense of belonging, a deep connection to this world and its people. He had found his place on Exila Prime, a place where he could make a difference, where he could be more than just a warrior. He was a leader, a protector, and a friend. As the night deepened, Saphira stood, a thoughtful expression on her face. "Come, Michael, there is one more thing we must do." Curious, Michael followed her through the garden and back to the festival grounds. The celebrations were still in full swing, the air filled with music and laughter. Saphira led him to the grand stage, where a crowd had gathered, eager to hear from their queen and their hero one last time. Saphira stepped forward, her presence commanding the attention of everyone present. The crowd fell silent, their eyes fixed on her. She turned to Michael, a warm smile on her face. Michael stood beside her, dressed in his ceremonial armor, the star of valor gleaming on his chest. He felt a surge of pride and emotion as he looked out at the crowd, the people he had come to see as his own. Yet, as the night had progressed, his thoughts had repeatedly returned to the woman standing beside him. The connection they shared had deepened over the course of their journey together, and now, standing in the glow of victory, he felt the time had come to express what had grown in his. Queen Saphira addressed the crowd, her voice carrying over the expectant silence. "People of Exila Prime, tonight we celebrate a victory that belongs to us all. Our courage, unity, and resilience have brought us through the darkness and into the light. But tonight is also a night of new beginnings, a time to look to the future and the promise it holds." She paused, her gaze turning to Michael, a tender smile playing on her lips. "There is someone among us who has not only stood as a defender of our world, but has also touched my heart in ways I never expected. Michael, from the moment you arrived, you have shown a strength and kindness that has inspired us all. You have been a steadfast ally, a wise leader, and a true friend." Michael felt his heart swell with emotion. He met Saphira's gaze, seeing in her eyes the reflection of the feelings he had struggled to articulate. Taking a deep breath, He stepped forward, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "Your Majesty, Zafira, you have shown me a world of beauty and strength, a place where I found a purpose and a home. But more than that, you have shown me kindness and understanding. In the midst of battle and chaos, you have been a beacon of hope." He paused, gathering his courage, feeling the weight of the moment. "Zafira, I stand here tonight not just as a warrior or a commander, but as a man who has come to care deeply for you. I love you, and I want nothing more than to stand by your side, not just as your ally, but as your partner in all." A collective gasp ran through the crowd, followed by an anticipatory silence. The people watched, breathless, as Queen Zafira's eyes glistened with tears. She stepped closer to Michael, her voice soft yet clear. "Michael, you have brought light and warmth into my life, a life that, until now, was filled only with the burdens of leadership. You have shown me what it means to love and be loved, not as a queen, but as a woman. I love you, Michael, and I want to share my life with you." With those words, Zafira reached out and took Michael's hand. The crowd erupted into applause and cheers, their joy and approval filling the night air. The Queen and Michael stood together, their hands clasped, their love publicly declared for all to see. It was a moment of profound connection and unity, a celebration not just of their victory, but of the love that had blossomed amidst the trials they had faced. As the cheers continued, Queen Zafira raised her free hand, signaling for silence. The crowd quieted, eager to hear her next words. "People of Exila Prime, it is with great joy that I announce my love for Michael, a man who has shown us all the meaning of courage and compassion. But tonight, I also have another announcement." She paused, her eyes shining with happiness. "Michael and I have decided to join our lives not just in love, but in leadership. Therefore, I am proud to announce that Michael will be crowned as king, alongside me as your queen. Together, we will lead Exila Prime into a new era of unity, peace." The crowd erupted once more, the cheers and applause louder than ever. The announcement of Michael's ascension to the throne was met with overwhelming support and joy. The people had seen his bravery and dedication, and they welcomed him as their new king with open hearts. Michael felt a surge of emotion as he looked out at the crowd, overwhelmed by the support and love from the people. He turned to Zafira, his heart full. "Thank you, Zafira. It will be my honor to stand beside you as king and to serve our people with all my heart." Zafira smiled, her eyes reflecting the depth of her love and commitment. "Together, we will build a future where all can thrive, where our differences are celebrated, and where love and unity guide us." As the night continued, the celebration reached new heights. The people of Exila Prime danced and sang, their hearts lifted by the joyous announcements. The festival became a symbol of hope and new beginnings, a testament to the power of love and unity. Michael and Zafira stood together on the stage, their hands clasped, their hearts united. They looked out over the sea of smiling faces, knowing that this was just the beginning of their journey together. As king and queen, they would lead Exila Prime into a new era, one filled with promise and possibility. The stars above shone brightly, a reminder of the vast universe that awaited them. But in that moment, Michael knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, he and Zafira would face them together. Their love, born out of adversity and forged in the fires of battle, would be the foundation of their reign. And so, under the twinkling stars and the gentle glow of the twin moons, Michael and Zafira's love story began. It was a story of courage, unity, and the unbreakable bond between two souls destined to lead in love. As the people of Exila Prime celebrated their new king and queen, a new chapter in the planet's history was written. A chapter filled with hope, love, and the promise of a brighter future.